Welcome to Ojii's Origami. Today we're going to be doing a project for the advanced origami folder. We're going to be attempting to do a peacock. And I chuckle when I say attempting because ideally we should be having a piece of origami paper probably at least 10 by 10 inches or 12 by 12 inches. This one here is a standard 6 by 6, and it's actually very small to do a peacock, but I can't find larger paper with the qualities of folds that I want. I've got larger paper here and I've tried the peacock with it, but the paper is either too thick or doesn't hold the folds well enough, or is a texture that is not good for finding small folds and fine features on the peacock. So here we go. We're going to try and do it with a piece of paper 6 inches square that's been cut in half. So now it's 6 by 3, actually 6 by 3. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me. It's probably going to go slower than I want it to, only because of the size of paper that we're working with. So to begin, what we're going to be doing is folding a very basic balloon base at the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to fold it in half. We're going to open up, top corner down to meet the center. I'm going to rotate, second corner down to center. Open back up. And then to make a reference line, I'm going to fold this down and then back up again. So far it looks like this. It's fairly simple, right? And then we're going to fold a couple more guidelines. Okay, so we've got this down, this back up, and now we're going to fold this corner right over to this edge, using this as a pivot point. Trying to be as exacting as we can. Open up. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to fold this corner over to meet this edge. And then I'm going to open back up. So that's what it looks like, right? All of your guidelines, horizontal, we got the vertical, we got crisscross here, we got and crisscross over here. And now comes the balloon base. So this folds in, this folds in. Do you see the balloon base forming? I'm just gonna make slight bends there, and then this corner meets this corner exactly. Crease the paper, fold this in. This corner meets this corner. Hold it into place. Crease. I'm just folding back and forth for guidelines. So there's your balloon base, right? I'm going to take this corner, I'm going to stand it straight up, like such. We're going to do an open squash fold. Where's my toothpick? Toothpick or a pencil or a very skinny pinky finger will work. Insert on that piece that's standing up, we're going to insert like that. And then we're going to squash down. And as you fold this down, make sure that this center line right here stays on the center line. It's really important. Like such. And then crease. And now we're going to do the kite folds. So this edge, I'll turn it this way, is going to fold up and it's going to meet the center line here. Like such. If you can, make a nice point right down here. This edge, you're going to do the same thing. It's going to fold and meet the center. And increase. For those of you who have folded a crane, you're going to notice that this looks familiar, right? So once those two folds have been done, you're going to open it back up. You're going to lift this point up, and this point is going to meet the top, right? This point is going to meet the top point, like that. You're going to hold it in place, and as you hold it in place, gently on these guidelines that you've already folded, gently fold the paper over, like that. And then crease. So it looks like that. Same on this side. See the guidelines you've already folded? You're going to fold the paper in. And crease. So it looks like that. Once you've folded that up, fold it down and crease it. Now it looks like an elongated diamond, right? Once that is done, fold this flap over, just like that, and crease. And then stand this point up and do it all over again. Okay, so I'm going to insert the toothpick to open it up. Then I'm going to squash it down. To the center line. Hold it in place and then gently crease your paper. The kite fold again. So this edge right here is going to fold up onto the center line. And this edge here is going to fold up to the center line. I'm going to open it back up. I'm going to raise this point up to the top. And then I'm going to fold the paper in on those guidelines that we've just created, like such. And then this side as well. And then fold it down. Once it's folded down, turn one flap over like that. And now what you're going to be doing is looking at your project. It should look like this. Okay, with a little point right down there sticking out. The next move is a little tricky. If you look at your project this way, you're going to see that these, well, what I'll call legs, because they are actually going to end up being the legs of the peacock. You can actually separate them a bit. See that? Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to separate those legs, and as we do, just with a gentle pull, see how this point wants to fold in when we do that? Then what we're going to do is we're going to open it up like this. We're going to pull the legs apart, and that point, when it goes down, we're going to finish off. I'm going to lay it down. We're going to finish off by folding that point under, just like that. Push it inside like that, and put your legs back together. So now it looks like this. You've actually reversed the point that was hanging down now is inside, right? To form the first leg, what we're going to do, I'm going to take this leg and I'm going to fold it out that way. And then this edge right here is going to meet this edge. It's going to be horizontal. So it's going to be like that. Once you've done that, I'm going to open it back up. And then I'm going to do an inside reverse fold. So I'm going to open this up slightly. I'm going to pinch this and take it up, reverse the fold on this line here. So I'm reversing the fold. I'll do it again for you. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to pull the leg up. I'm going to do a reverse fold on the center line. And then I'm pushing this flap back over and creasing. That's called an inside reverse fold. Same thing on this side. I'm going to rotate it just to make it easier for myself. So the first move I'm going to do is fold the leg backwards like that. Then an inside reverse fold. I'm going to open this up again. Open the flap up. The leg is going to come up on the inside. And then I'm reversing fold on. See, right now it's like this, the leg. When I open it up and push it this way, I'm reversing this fold. So now it's going to go this way. And then crease it and put it back into that position. Looks like this. Okay. And now, with this leg here, we're going to open it up. We're going to fold the top flap right over like that. See, that's all I did. Got this, and then I folded it up. Now the next part is when it starts to get difficult because we're working with such small paper. And now what we're going to do, and I'm going to rotate it to make it easier. What I'm going to do now, these two edges, where's my toothpick? This edge and this edge, we're going to kite fold in to meet the center line. It's a very small area to work with, but be patient, take your time. I'm going to use my fingernail to help guide the paper. So basically this edge is going to fold in half right along there to meet the center line. It's going to be a very narrow fold. So I folded it in half to meet the center. I'm going to do the same thing with this edge. Your leg now looks like that, and once it's folded like that, you're going to fold it back down in half. Right on that center line. That's the skinny peacock leg. Okay. All right, let's try it with this side. I'm going to open this up. And then this edge and this edge are going to fold over to meet the center line right down there. Take your time. You can see if you had paper at least twice the size of this, how much more easier it would be, right? There's one side folded over. But it's important not only to get a proper size paper, it's also important to get paper that has really nice folding qualities. Qualities that enable the creases to stay nice and crisp. And yet you don't want it to be tough, like thick paper either. You still want it to be as thin as possible and light as possible, but able to hold the creases. So once I've got those two folded into the center, then I'm going to fold it back in half down like that. So now I've got two skinny peacock legs. See that? If you're not there yet, simply hit pause on the video and then connect back up once you've got to that point. I'm going to continue on. On this side, I'm going to open up this half like that, and then this edge here, I'm going to fold it over to meet the center line. Like that. And then I'm going to fold this half back down. I'm going to rotate my page and do the same thing. This is going to pick up like that. This edge here is going to fold over to meet the center line. It's okay to have a gap, and then fold back down. Oops. So now it looks like that. That part was relatively easy compared to what we have been doing, right? All right. now comes, I'm not going to say difficult. The folds are easy, but it's difficult because, again, we're working with small paper. So pay attention what I'm going to be doing, because it's going to be the same series of moves over and over again. This point from here to here, we're going to fold halfway down. Okay, so let's say just pick that point right there. Put your finger on it and fold down. Make sure that this point stays on the center line. And then crease. And open it back up. So you've got a crease right there. And now what we're going to do is this bottom edge is going to fold up to meet that line that you've just created. And crease it. And open it back up again. Okay, now I'm going to explain this before we do it, so you know what the objective is going to be. Right now we have two sections, right? This section and this section of the tail, right? Two sections of the tail, 1 and 2. We're going to keep folding in this manner, and we want to end up with 16 sections. So I'm going to leave it up to your own devices and how you achieve that. Or you can follow me. What I'm going to do from 1 to 2, I'm going to fold this up and back down, right? So now I've got 1, 2, 3 sections. I'm going to actually fold this backwards on that guideline, and then I'm going to fold this up to meet that line. Crease it, open it back up. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, and you want to divide each of these 4 sections again in half. Got one more half to do. And it's going to be from there to there. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. And now each one of those 8 sections is going to be folded in half as well. That's what I mean. It's already, the lines are already very close together, but you're going to have to fold them all in half one more time. Now with this small of paper, I have folded a peacock before, using only the 8 sections like it is for the tail, and it doesn't look quite as nice as it should with a 16 section tail. Okay, so just keep on folding as best you can. Try to get those 16 sections. And it, again, it doesn't matter if you fold it this way or backwards, because as you can expect, all of these sections are going to be fan folded back and forth in the end anyways. How are you doing with yours? Look at all those sections. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to start fan folding all of these sections back and forth. Okay? There, all the fan folds are done. At the very end, with the very first fan fold, you're going to open it up, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, I'll wait a second till you get there. Okay, and now what we're going to be doing is folding it in half this way. Okay, but don't fold the whole peacock in half. Just start with the body like this and do a very slight crease right? You're just holding it in position. Now, do you see how the tail wants to come up like that? Okay. What you're going to do is fold it back and then crease. See what I'm doing here? And then crease like that. So I started here, pinching and creasing. As the tail kind of flipped up, you held it in position here and then creased underneath. Now, I'm going to lay this back down. I'm going to lay the tail back down like such. And we're going to fold it in half. Like that. Now this section that we've unfolded a couple of steps ago, like that, we did it for a reason. In origami, traditionally we don't want to use scissors and glue and tape and paste and those kinds of things for the project. And having said that, before, when you made a peacock and it was up like this, there was no way to keep the two halves of the tail together unless you did either staple it or tape it or glue it. We don't want to do that. So what we're doing with this flap, like that, you're going to fold, you're going to hold it together, fold the corners over like such, at that end, and at this end. It's very difficult to work with because the paper is so small, but try to do that. Okay, I'm going to fold the corner over, like such. Once this corner and this corner are folded over, you're going to fold this in right into the actual tail. I'm going to put it down. It's easier for you're going to fold it over like that. See that? And then crease it and put your peacock tail back together in the fan fold. And if it's done, I didn't do it correctly. Fold over and stay, and then fan fold back together. Now hopefully, I won't know this until I go to open it up, hopefully I've done it correctly and the tail will stay together when we open it up. But we haven't got to that point yet. Okay. So right now your project looks like this. This is the front of the peacock, or the legs, here's the body, and here's the tail ready to open it up. For the neck of the peacock, if you can, again, in your imaginary line here, you're going to have a line drawn about like this. Okay, and on that line, just fold your neck up like such. Just give it a twist up. And now we're going to do what's known as the outside reverse fold. I'm going to open this back up. We're going to open the peacock half like this. Right? Outside reverse fold. For those of you who can do it, go ahead. For those of you who don't know an outside reverse fold, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pinch this paper and I'm going to fold it back this way using those guidelines. and it's going to be an outside fold, and I'm going to reverse this. So right now it's pointing this way, right? When we finish, it's going to be like that. So here we go. It's going to out, I'm pinching it, I'm folding it back, and then I'm folding it back in. And creasing on those guidelines. There are lots of layers of paper, right? So pinch it hard. That's the neck. And then to form the head, we're going to do the same thing going this way. I'm going to pinch it, outside reverse fold. It's going to come down this way, like that. See that? And then once it's over, you're going to squeeze on those guidelines really hard, and that's your peacock head. Now, if this was a larger piece of paper, you would actually do this reverse fold twice. You'd move this back in once and then back out again. It's hard to describe without showing you, but on a small piece of paper like this, I can't do that. Same with your legs. If this was a larger piece of paper, we would be doing an inside reverse fold back this way, and then an outside reverse fold back this way to make it a jointed leg. But I don't think I've got enough material here. I'll try it. I don't think I've got enough material to actually do that. So that's going to be the outside reverse fold back. And then the inside reverse fold back this way for the foot. So it looks like a jointed leg. Didn't turn out too bad, but that's how it should look. Same with this leg. There's the center, you gotta open it up, turn it back this way. Crease it. And then the foot back this way. Like there's your 2 legs and your 2 feet. Like with any animal, try to make the legs and the feet look similar to each other in length, so that it looks natural. Okay, so there's the neck, there's the head and beak, the leg and foot, and now very carefully, and I say carefully because we would like to have that tail stay together, we're going to open up the back slightly and raise the peacock fan. Mine's coming apart, but we can probably put it back together with that joint. Like such. And then raise it this way. And there's your peacock. Hopefully yours turned out. If it didn't, practice, practice, practice. And if you get a larger piece of paper, you'll have much more success. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like, and also please subscribe to Ojii's Origami. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.